Welcome back, everybody. Today we're gonna do a little update on the arboretum, all the way down here, all the way down here, down the hill. Wow. So if you haven't heard about this before, this is my little, let's call it a passion project. It's a collection of trees to have samples of different species of trees, because I tend to cut them up and look at their insides. So it'd be cool to be able to see specimens of how they look when they're not sliced up. So this is my little area here in this front pasture thing here. It's a few acres that I thought would be a really cool area to have a collection of trees. And of course, this is like a lifelong project, so it's not something that I am in a huge rush to accomplish, but every year I hope to bring it back and kind of show you how things are doing down here in the arboretum. So we'll stop here real quick at my, let's call it the prize tree, or the most important tree to me that actually has some sentimental value. This is the walnut tree that I moved from our old house when it was a sapling on the day we closed and sold that house. And I planted it here, and it is, it's doing quite well. So last year, I believe it was somewhere down in this region here, was maybe halfway up this first grow tube. It popped out the top of the tube towards the end of the season last year, so I stuck another kind of shorter tube on top of there, and it's currently up in this area right here. It's just leafing out now, and I'm guessing it'll probably get to the top of this tube by the end of the season, and that'll put it at maybe 6.5 feet tall once it gets to the very tippy top there. And then I think the tubes could probably come off or stay on or whatever. It's down in there. So this year I have these 4 trees to plant. These are from Greg over in Pennsylvania. He sent me a couple of sycamores and a couple of Osage orange. Greg sent me a few trees the first year I did this, and I put them in pots, and that was the year we started on the house, so I didn't actually have a chance to get them into the ground before winter. And yeah, trees from Pennsylvania don't enjoy the Minnesota winters. So hopefully we're gonna try this again. I'll get them in the ground, get them in the tubes, and hopefully they'll survive the next winter. If not, we can at least say we tried. So we have this kind of horseshoe ridge kind of thing through here. So I'm gonna plant up in here. I'll put 3 on this side of this ash tree and 1 on the other side, and hopefully this will be kind of high enough up so that the cold air will maybe settle down in the valleys here. I don't know how much of a difference it's really going to make, but I feel like it's at least doing the best I can for the climate that we have here. So first one's going to go right here, and that box elder I planted the first year is just down there. So this year we had like a super late spring. We had snow. We had a foot of snow come down on April 1st, and then it stayed pretty cold and bleak for a while. The trees just started leafing out 2 weeks ago. Today is May 25th, and the trees that are kind of slow to leaf, like ash, haven't completely leafed out yet. So that's kind of where we're at as far as the growing season goes. It was a really long winter. I think we had the second most snowfall on record this year, like close to 100 inches, something like that. So if you saw last year's update, I moved a bunch of small trees that were along the driveway, which is in those pine trees there, down into the arboretum. And this is what happens with like hobbies or passion projects, is as soon as your life gets busy, those things are the first thing to go. So I planted all those trees last year, and then I never got down here to water them. At the time we were working on the house, I think at that time we were getting ready for sheetrock. So didn't really even think about it too much about getting down here to water those. So unfortunately most of them didn't make it. We'll take a look at them in a little bit, what has made it. For sure one of the white oaks, I think it's the chestnut oak that made it. I can't really tell right now because they still haven't leafed out. They're still like little tiny oak leaves. So I'm not sure which one it is, if it's the bur oak or the chestnut oak or a swamp oak or something like that we planted. And then the hard maple looks like it's doing just fine too. So this is one of the Osage orange trees, and these things have got like spikes and barb things. It's kind of prickly. This did come bare rooted, so I don't expect this thing has really done a whole lot in this pot in the last month that's been here. Oh man, this is gonna be hard without getting bit. They're spiky. Ah, should I got the bigger tube? You can get these tubes in different heights. These are the small ones for like little baby tiny trees. Oh well, I'll put another one on here. I'm not going to try and take that off again and get pricked. Okay, another Osage. Some more prickles for me. There's a few little spiky dudes on there. Wow. Okay, this next one's going to be one of the sycamores. This one's leafing out. The other one hasn't started leafing yet, so I'm not sure if it didn't make it or if it's just slow. But I think last time a lot of people asked about the grow tubes and what their purpose is, and there's a few different kind of factors for them. The biggest one, of course, is it protects the trees from wildlife, so I don't have to worry about deer coming by and grazing my trees. But the thing it does for growth is it directs the tree to grow straight up, like it's looking for that little bit of sun at the top of the tube. So it should promote straighter growth instead of branching out or branching low. Because I'm trying to grow trees, not bushes. And they also kind of act like little greenhouses in there to help protect them, especially when they're young, and protects them from wind and, you know, some of the extreme sun and stuff like that. It's all very cool, all stuff I don't really know a whole lot about, and I've been kind of learning as I go. That's a cool tree. This has got some of like the oddest looking leaves I think I've ever seen. It's so goofy. Okay, here's that other sycamore. It doesn't look like it's in that great a shape. I don't think it's, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll come to life. Who knows? Who knows with this stuff? It's a tree. Who knows? There we go. So there's that one in the ground. I just have to tube it still. I have to go get my kids, but I'll take you out on my walk tonight and we'll look at the few trees that are down there from last year, and I want to show you a few other ones that are elsewhere on the property to show you kind of like what happens when you get the tree into the tube. All right, let's go for a walk. How about this thing? It's 6 feet across, 8 feet across, 15,000 pounds. All right, first stop is right here along the driveway. Oh, this thing's exploding. This is a maple tree. I put this grow tube on last summer. It was about this big last year down in here, and I got to put another one on here. This one's going to be up to the top of this pole by the end of the year. This one I just put on this year. This is a cherry tree, and that one's coming up pretty quickly already. It's up to here, and a few weeks ago it was kind of down in there, so that one's probably going to start taking off, you know, as well. So let's head down here and we'll take a look at the ones I planted in the Arboretum last year. So down in here, this is one of the oak trees. I believe this was maybe the bur oak. I think the chestnut oak would have been that one over there. It hasn't leafed out yet, so I'm not sure if it made it or not. And I haven't made the call yet. Down here is the hard maple. And it's starting to come up. It's actually, let's take a little peek. Yeah, it's pretty big. So that one's gonna be okay. Next year I'll come by and I'll clear the grass out of the area and give it a little more of a proper, for sure, install. Next we're gonna walk all the way to the back because I have a few other trees way the heck back there in the back corner. So back here in this will be the southeast corner of the lot by the biggest walnut tree. You can see the walnut hasn't even leafed out completely yet. That's how late the spring was this year. Anyway, back here I have a couple of bur oaks, and these are like exploding with growth. So this is going to be their second season in the tubes. And again, I tubed this one back when it was way down here, and already at the start of the season it's come up a pretty good amount. So this one will probably be kind of up in here somewhere by the end of this season. This one's a little bit shaded, so it doesn't grow quite as fast, but it's also coming up. So it's just cool. Once you get these tube things on them, they just go boop. we're trees now, boop. So that is where the Arboretum is this year. I'm guessing that the next couple of years will be kind of the same. I probably won't have a whole lot of time and energy to focus on it, but if I get a few trees planted a year, eventually there'll be hundreds. Is that how that works? Oh, nice sunset tonight. So maybe next year or the year after, 2024, 2025, I have a little more mental capacity and time capacity to do a real good push of getting trees into the Arboretum, getting an actual layout kind of figured out. But at least for now, the things I have in there are growing. At least that walnut tree is. That tree is very happy there. So I guess, yeah, we'll see you again next year for one of these things. We'll see what trees we get into the Arboretum. We'll see how big or if any have survived. We will see. The winters here are not, they're not fun, probably. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on the Arboretum, anything back in the shop or whatever, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.